Have you ever wondered why you can practice a language for literally years, completely immerse yourself in the culture, memorize all the vocabulary, and yet you still walk around with this stubborn native accent? It's honestly one of the most frustrating plateaus in language learning. But today, we're going right to the source of this mystery. And the answer? Well, it's going to completely change how you approach speaking.
We've all been there, right? You've practiced for years, but that accent just will not budge. It's so common to blame yourself, to think, maybe I'm just not a languages person, or maybe my tongue just can't make the right shapes. But here is the massive realization. It's actually not your tongue failing you at all. It's your brain. Your brain is actively, subconsciously, filtering out the exact sounds of the language you're trying to learn.
So, to figure out how to hack this biological filter, we first need to confront the main invisible villain of accent mastery. Section 1. Phonemes, the meaning changers.
Now, a phoneme is basically the absolute smallest unit of sound in a word, that if you were to replace it, changes the meaning of the word entirely. Think of it as the foundational building block of speech. When you mess this fundamental sound up, the listener doesn't just think, oh, they have a charming accent. No, they literally hear a completely different word. And as you can imagine, that completely derails the conversation.
Think about the words bit, sit, and wit. They are entirely identical except for that very first sound. The ba, the sa, and the wa are distinct phonemes. Changing that one tiny sound completely alters the vocabulary. Or take the vowel shift between get and got. If you ask someone to get something, but your vowel accidentally slips into an ah phoneme, they hear got. Miscommunication happens instantly. But as tricky as phonemes are, they're really just step one.
The actual secret to sounding like a native speaker lies in our next concept. Section 2. Allophones, the shapeshifters.
Okay, let's break this down, because this is where the magic really happens. An allophone refers to the multiple ways the exact same letter or underlying sound varies in its actual sound or even the physical shape of your mouth based purely on its surrounding context. And here is the kicker. It does this without changing the meaning of the word. Basically, a letter acts like a chameleon depending on the letters standing right next to it.
Let's actually see this chameleon effect in action. I want you to do this with him right now, wherever you are. Say the word door out loud. Door. Do you physically feel how your lips round pretty aggressively when you hit that D? That's because your mouth is subconsciously preparing for the rounded O vowel coming up next. Now say deal. Deal. Your lips stay completely relaxed, almost stretching into a smile, right? The letter D adapted entirely to its environment. Your brain tells you it's the exact same letter, but your mouth is doing two completely different things.
And it's not just about mouth shape either. Allophones actually change the physical length of the sounds we make. Take the words face and phase. Say face. You end on a voiceless S sound, and notice just how short that magic-y vowel is. Face. Now say phase, ending on the vibrating voiced Z sound. Phase. The vowel sound in phase is drawn out and noticeably longer specifically because it's followed by a voiced sound. When you finally tune your ear to hear that length difference, oh wow, it triggers this massive, that makes perfect sense realization.
But why are these allophones so ridiculously hard to pick up naturally? Well, that brings us to our core revelation. Section 3, the mother tongue filter.
Look, if you're struggling with this, your struggles are incredibly valid. Here's why. Your native alphabet essentially wired your brain's auditory filters from childhood. If your native language doesn't vary a certain letter's sound, your brain naturally just assumes it always sounds the same. We see this across all cultures. Arabic speakers often struggle to hear the distinction between sit and seat because vowel variation functions totally differently in Arabic. Spanish speakers might completely miss the length difference between look and luke. Hindi speakers might compress English sounds, defaulting to a hard T for both three and tree. And Chinese speakers can often struggle to separate three and free.
So, the absolutely crucial point is this. Your struggles are not due to a lack of effort. You are fighting a biological filtering issue created by your mother tongue. To achieve true fluency, you have to consciously bypass that filter. You literally have to retrain your ears and your tongue to recognize and produce these allophones. You have to learn to hear the chameleon.
Which brings us to the actionable, empowering solution of this explainer. Section 4, rewiring brains and muscles.
Getting an authentic American or British accent is vastly different from studying for a grammar exam. It is not a vocabulary test. The goal is to recognize allophones for sure, but more importantly, it's to develop muscle memory. You have to treat accent training as performing a physical motor skill. It's quite literally a physical workout for your vocal muscles, forcing your lips, jaw, and tongue to move in micro ways that your native language never, ever required of you.
And that leaves us with one final vital question. Are you ready to rewire your brain and work out those vocal muscles today? Because the beautiful truth about phonemes and allophones is that they prove accent mastery isn't some sort of magic. It's just mechanics. At literally any age, you have the physical capability to learn these motor skills, shapeshift your sounds, and finally break through that stubborn native accent. You just need to hit the vocal gym.